Hello everyone, welcome to another follow along video that has to do with opening up the hips. This is going to be a series of 3 movements that we're going to create a flow in so that we can take the hips through all of the ranges of motion that it offers. As always, please feel free to use these movements that I'm offering as just a foundation for you to help build upon your own unique movement patterns that, again, are unique to you. No one knows your body like you know your body. So with that being said, let's get in to the first movement here that we're going to do. We're going to start feet shoulder width apart, actually a little wider than shoulder width apart, and we're just going to focus on bouncing and passing the upper body weight from side to side. So let the arms get heavy, let our upper body become heavy, and really feel this as we move and shift our weight from the left to the right. Really feel the strength. I recommend not having shoes on for this so you can feel the ground underneath your feet and the strong base of support that your feet offer. And as you pass and sway, we're going to slowly get lower to the ground as our feet become wider. And we're going to do this until our hands touch the ground. Be sure to keep a neutral spine. Do not hunch over here. And find your own rhythm. This is great for opening up these hip joints here, warming them up for this flow. Now, as our hands touch the ground, we're going to move slower from left to the right. And take this as deep as you can take it. Again, don't go all the way into that pain zone if you're starting to feel pain. Just take it to a comfortable position where you can still get the most benefit out of these movements. Pass back and forth. Really opening up this joint. And this is the first movement that we're doing. This will transition after I do a couple more here with you guys. Really stretching the adductors as well, that inner thigh muscle that tends to get really tight around that pubic area of the hip joint. So we're going to transition. When I swing back to the right, I'm going to go into a lunge, take my right knee, place it on the ground, go into a full lunge, and then lean forward, passing back and forth from right to left, focusing on taking the hip through internal and external rotations while the hip is sitting in extension. This movement is great, especially if we find ourselves sitting for long periods of time and we have a lot of compression at the hip, because we're taking it from a state of flexion to a state of extension, but we're also utilizing the internal and external rotations of that hip joint. From here, I'm going to now kick the left foot back, go into child's pose here, and then immediately come up into the pose here. I believe this is downward dog. And we're going to pass from right to left, really sensing and feeling this rhythm and this spiraling motion in the lumbar spine and in the hips. You can bring the neck all the way back. You can roll the head with this. Again, how can you make this unique to you? Focus on the breath. This is your time to reteach your body, to re-educate your body, and to heal. And now we're going to come back up into that lunge. And then from here, I'm going to shift back into passing the weight from side to side. So this is my anchor of the whole movement flow. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the right leg. Again, if you can only get to here, go as far as you can go with this. That's fine. Just passing back and forth, finding that rhythm. And now I'm going to shift to the right. Left knee hits the ground here. Go up into a lunge. Fall over into a deeper lunge and shift the weight from side to side. Really stretching that hip into external and then stretching it into that internal rotation. For me, I'm feeling a little inspired to add a little thoracic rotation into the mix. Feel free to do the same. Now we're going to kick that right leg back, fall into child's pose, and go into that downward dog. Again, just adopting this movement routine to open up the hips once a day. If you can find 10 minutes in the morning or at night or in the middle of the day, will make a huge impact on the way your body moves. Taking care of our hip joint is probably the biggest return on investment we can ever create for ourselves. All right, go back into that lunge. Shift up and we'll pass the weight back. And this is the essence of the entire movement flow, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Drop that right knee, go into a lunge, fall, start shifting from side to side. Now we're going to pick that left leg back, child's pose, into downward dog, and start to shift our weight from side to side. You can see how intentional you can do this here. Come up, right leg plants, back in lunge, and shifting our weight from side to side. From here, left leg into lunge, deeper lunge, and pass back and forth. This is the last one here. And then we kick that right leg back, child's pose. Downward dog and shifting. No right or wrong way to do this, guys. Just have fun and explore. We're coming to the end here. Go back into lunge. And we are done. Beautiful, guys. Hope you found a lot of value in that hip opening movement exercise that we just did. A lot of it was focused on exploring the ranges of motion to really get the most out of our hip joint, get the most out of the day, and get the most out of our quality of life. I hope you guys continue to move, continue to explore, and continue to discover and then create within your own unique movement journey. And we'll see you in the next video.